All right, high rollers, you gotta love this guy and his live stream on Twitch, making a big splash in the Global Poker League as well as part of the Hong Kong Stars. He's got 4 wins out of a possible 6 so far in heads-up play. His team, right now, second in the Eurasia Conference behind Paris. This guy's played millions of hands online. He's won millions playing poker, and his following is getting bigger and bigger every day. Randy Lew, our guest today. Nanonoko. Randy, thanks for being a high roller, man.
Yeah, feels good. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I know it's a long day already. Your stream just ended. How did it go for you today?
Pretty good. We were peaking in viewers, so number one stream for until I disconnected, but pretty happy with it. I feel like I'm really building the community. Like I think some people know I stream. A lot of people don't know I stream still. So I think when I finally really just kind of get a hold of everyone and just bring them together, that we'll have something really nice product for people to watch on Twitch.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about your stream in just a bit, but off the top, I want to ask you for the updated hand count. Last I heard, it was 13 million. And can you also tell us about the name Nanonoko and the origins of that?
Yeah, it's about 13 millions. I think before it was like 12.5 million or something when I actually requested the email or not. But it's probably just about 13 million roughly. I probably will send an email out and ask them again. I'm a bit curious myself. In terms of Nano Noco, so Nano is a really small number, right? And ko in Japanese is basically like child, and no in Japanese kind of connects two words. So it's just like a small kind of kid or like something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much my screen name.
Well, there you go, man. Very interesting. I find the hand count incredible. You're famously known for multi-tabling. I think you got up to 24 tables at once at one time. I mean, how do you do that? It's a simple question, but how do you do that? I play 2 or 3 tables online. I get tired. I go on tilt. Must take a lot of focus.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of focus. Now, it's not like some people are like, oh, I want to multi-table, and they kind of expect to be able to do that like the next day. It really took a lot of practice. When I first started playing, I played one table myself, 2 tables, 3 tables. I didn't go straight to 24 per se. It's just like if you add like one table at a time, then you can kind of train yourself to be able to respond to a lot of actions at once better than jumping from 1 to 24 and being overwhelmed. It just took a lot of practice, and there's a lot of like hotkeys you can use to help you speed your play. PokerStars, for example, has hotkeys built into the client, which you can kind of just set up. So I pretty much just like have a fold button, a bet button, and things like that to kind of really help me play a lot faster. And with all the experience I have, like a lot of hands come second nature to me rather than, oh, I've never seen this happen before. I've played so many hands. I've seen a lot of spots a lot. So
Yeah, you've been there, done that.
been there, done that. And it's really just when I really need to take my time is kind of like read specific plays, basically.
One of the things I read somewhere about you is that when you realized you were a good poker player and beating the game, instead of going up in stakes, you decided just to add more tables. Is that part of money management?
Yeah. Well, because when I went into poker, I don't know. I just know like I've read like stories out there. It's like all the high stakes people, like they're like kind of degen a bit. Like they either spend money lavishly or like just like lose their big, have a million, lose a million, win a million. It's just like, and at the time, not too many people can really multi-table. I was kind of like a very unique case early on the internet poker times, and people were playing like 5100, 2550, and higher, and of course making a good money. But I was doing so well at the mid stakes, like 2, 4, 3, 6, and like some 510 as well, that in my mind, it just kind of clicked to me like, well, if I could just play like 10 of these games at once or 20 of these games at once and win, right? I'll make more money than someone who plays high stakes and can only play one table at a time because there's only one table running. And to me, that just made more sense. Like I'm playing against probably softer competition. Put a lot more hands in, so I get a lot more volume. So like I can see the long run. A lot of times, if you're playing one table, you can get in like ace king versus queens like 3 times in a row and lose them all. You know what I mean? But if we run a scenario over and over again, that's going to even out a lot more. So that kind of just was the approach I took with multi-tabling, and I did so well at it. I guess it kind of just made a name for myself, and I kind of took the, I guess, bankroll management and lower variance route for doing really well in poker and cash games.
Well, I've seen the pictures on Google and it's just amazing. 24 tables at once, man. That's something else. Now, listen, I know you've had some success in the video game world as well. A couple of top finishes at the Evolution Championship Series. What skills in gaming translate well into cards?
Yeah, there's multiple things about it. But I played fighting games, and I imagine it's the same for like real-time strategy games like StarCraft and like first-person shooters like Counter-Strike. It's probably the same. Is that in these games, all of them, you need to play in real time. Like it's not like a turn-based. Like okay, I make my move and wait like until you make your move. You need to always be constantly making moves consistently, because if you take a break, you just end up losing. So your actions per minute, your APMs, is really high in these games, and that allowed me to play 24 tables much easier than someone who doesn't play video games at all, for example. So I was able to transition to multi-tabling really quickly, and by doing that, that actually accelerates my learning curve. So if I feel like there's a strategy I kind of want to learn in poker, like, okay, I just watch a video and then like, oh, I never knew that I can re-raise and use position really well. I can like fire up a bunch of tables and actually like take the theory that I learned and put it into practice and learn rather quickly, because I'm getting so much volume into it. I can be like, oh, okay, well, I realize that this play, playing this hand isn't so good because I ran it like 1,000 times or whatever, because I'm just playing so many hands. So that's one of the good transitions for a gamer. They're just able to play a lot more tables quickly and act very quickly too. So instincts is really important. One of the biggest things really is the competitive nature of these games. You're almost always playing against another human player, just like in poker. So you have this kind of drive to be better than your opponents. No one plays games to be worse than their opponents, of course.
Right.
So like if you want to try and beat someone, if someone keeps on check raising you, right, you're gonna be like, okay, you're not just gonna take it. You're gonna be like, okay, well, what's the proper strategy to beat that? And that is the right mindset to be a really good poker player. Is that wanting to learn, wanting to get better. And a gamer will always want to try and be better than their opponents, and it's just a really good mindset to have going into poker.
You're developing quite a following on Twitch. I mean, you're one of the top streamers there. I certainly watch you quite a bit. Before we talk about your stream individually, what do you make of Twitch poker as a whole? I mean, it seems to have exploded. A lot of top players are using the platform, and for guys like me, poker junkies, it's great. I mean, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I think that Twitch is like having poker is one of the best things that's happened to poker in a really long time. Like when it first came out and about, a lot of people are kind of a little bit skeptical, like, well, who's going to want to live stream? And like everyone's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. But now there's just a lot of good people doing streams out there, a lot of quality content, and it's just really good for the game. Like people will be able to have a resource to go to where you can get that feedback really quick. Like a lot of times these professional players or streamers or just poker players in general are not accessible at all. If you see Phil Ivey, showing up at a live event, right? He plays a tournament, he busts, he leaves. He doesn't go around answering your questions or whatnot, right? Or like Danny Negreanu. There's a lot of people want to say something, but they really don't have the opportunity to. But we've seen Danny Negreanu stream on Twitch, and he answers questions, and it's just so much more accessible. And as a poker fan, that's really good. It keeps people engaged and enjoy poker. And one of the things is it really brings back the fun in poker. Poker, I felt like was kind of getting a little stale with people. People were like, oh, I just got it all in, what a cooler, oh well, and things like that. And I think that Twitch brings back the fun in it, you know, like the chill environment, the interaction, which is very important. I think in poker, it's a really good thing, and I can visualize it. You know, it's just I want to be a part of it when it just gets bigger and bigger, and that's why I'm here.
Well, you are certainly part of it, man. And yes, Twitch is one of the greatest things in poker in a long time. I find it just fascinating. Now, for your stream, you talk about it being chill. Your stream is certainly chill. For viewers that haven't been to your stream yet, what will they find there? What stakes are you playing? What's the feel of the stream? And tell us about that heart you make with your hands every time you're all in.
I do several things. I like to do a little heart to kind of say thank you guys. Here's a heart from me. And also, it's a triangle that I do.
Oh, it's a triangle.
Triangle. And so in the Macau tournaments I've been to, they have like the all-in triangle button, and you might see them in the EPTs as well, I believe. People would just do that with their hand, and at least in Macau, and then like that means I'm all in basically.
Speaking of Macau, you had a big win in Macau, didn't you?
I did, yeah. That was for like 450K. That's pretty good.
Pretty sweet.
But my stream in general is very chill. I find that, you know, Twitch is a great place for education. You know, we want to teach people to play poker, because, you know, that's why people are here to watch the stream, right? So I do educate people. I'm like, okay, well, this is whenever I have a table and I have a hand, I go through my thought process. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm folding here because this player is raising from first position, you know? But if you raise from a later position, I might play this hand, for example. You know, by giving the insight of why you're doing plays, people learn really well, right? But, you know, having said that, of course, I'm streaming for a long time, and people, they want to learn too, but they want to do it in a fun way too, right? So I find it, you know, very chill. You know, people can just come in and be like, hey, what's going on today? Have you made any deep runs? Have you won any money? Or how are you liking in like Vancouver? How are you liking London? Or, you know, just things like that. It's really nice and soothing for me, I guess, while I stream like many hours.
Well, listen, it's a great stream. I hope you keep it up. I really enjoy it when I'm tuned in there. Now, another big deal in poker these days is this new Global Poker League trying to sportify the game. It's early yet, week 2, but the GPL seems as a whole to be off to a flying start. It's a different concept, right? Team poker. You think it'll work? Will it sportify poker?
Well, I like people that are ambitious and have like really, you know, visionary ideas. So I don't know exactly if it's going to work, right, in the long run, but the fact that Dreyfus is willing to put in the effort to try to make this work it means a lot. And the Global Poker League, like, I don't know, we may not know the specifics of what is the best way to sportify poker, whether it's actually team play or whatnot, but I like the way the GPL is going right now. Like, we've brought together the best poker players, but rather than just have them play and just be silent and kind of boring, they've kind of been, I think they're very testing a lot of stuff and created opportunities to really get insight into more of the personalities of players, their insight. So, you know, they kind of did the webcam stuff, you know, and like people,
I like it.
They have like a lot of dream scenarios out there, like, well, we want to see like Phil Ivey down your ground, you play heads up one day, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's probably not going to happen. But, you know, like in the GPO, we can kind of have like these rivalries that may happen, you know, like Elky versus Jungle Man, right? Like,
that was awesome.
It wasn't a rivalry before, but now it is. It's. I think the GPO has a lot of potential, and they know it, and they're probably definitely fine tuning it as we come, because I think they weren't really planning on doing the webcams before, but they tried it out. It was a hit, and now it's a thing that's here to stay. So I would like to see it work out. I think it's a really cool thing, and I'm happy to be a part of it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it works out too, man. I really enjoy it. I've watched both your matches. You started off with a clean sweep of Sergey Lebedev, 3-0. Then you got to play Sam Trickett. And with respect to the webcam, one of the comments you made during the match, I tweeted about it, was, I'm playing a guy who finished second in the one drop. This is not good. Can you tell us about that match? I mean, he's one of the best, right?
He is one of the best. And actually, because I've actually never played with Sam Trickett before that match. And, you know, I heard he's really good. And, he did, obviously, he got second in the one drop. And when I actually played him, and after playing all 3 matches, I was like, oh, wow, he really is really good, you know? It's not just talk. I can confirm it after playing him. And like I've got a lot of respect for the guy, and after playing him, I've still got a lot of respect for the guy. It was a really good match, and I really, really, really want to play him again. So I'm hoping next time our team, the Hong Kong, is up against Liv Boris London's team. Hopefully we can set up that rematch because I would like some revenge.
Well, you talk about rivalries. I mean, you guys have already taken to Twitter with a little back and forth.
Yeah, because I was like, I won't crash a Ferrari at least after he beat me. And then, like, he came with a pretty good comeback. He was like, "Oh, you just folded every hand. You look like you can't own a Ferrari. Go drive a Prius." Or pretty good. It's all fun and games, of course, but you can't help but like needle back and forth, of course.
Randy Lew, really appreciate your time. Nanonoko, folks, check out his Twitch stream and be sure to watch him in the Global Poker League. Randy, thanks so much for your time.
Of course, thank you guys.